All right, so now let's try to apply calculating volume to some story problems. So let's look at this one. Lonzel needs to store 20 cubic feet of firewood. Could he use the storage rack shown? Justify your answer. So let's find the volume of this storage rack. So it's a triangular prism, so we're going to say volume of 1/2 triangular base, so times 4 times 6, right? So that's this triangle here, times the height of this whole prism, which is 2. Okay, well, we can plug all of that in our calculator and we get 24 cubic feet. So the rack holds 24 cubic feet of fireworks, or firewood. So yes, the storage rack can hold the firewood because it has more storage capacity than the amount of wood that he needs to store, right? What would the volume of the storage shed be if all dimensions doubled in size? Well, we could easily do that, right? We could double each of these. So this 4 would become 8, this 6 would become 12, and this 2 would become 4, right? So we would have volume of 1/2 times 8 times 12 times 4, and I could plug all of that in my calculator and I get 192 cubic feet. Okay. Last one, what would the volume of the storage shed be if only the length of the triangular base in the original shed was reduced by half, right? So if the length, what would the volume of the storage shed be if only the length of the triangular base was cut in half? So we would have volume. So this is now, let's erase these new markers that we had, right? So now this is cut in half. So that's 3, right? So we would say 1/2 times 3 times 4 times 2, and we would get 12 cubic feet. Cool. Let's try this next one. So Marta is repurposing a sandbox as a garden and is buying the soil from her school fundraiser. Estimate the number of bags she should buy. So first thing we want to do is calculate the volume of the sandbox. Notice that we're using different dimensions here, so we should start by getting everything in the same dimension. So if the square sandbox is 4 feet, that's the same as 48 inches, 4 times 12. All right, so now we can calculate the volume of the sandbox by doing the area of the base. So 48 times 48 times the height, that's already in 10 inches, so times 10 inches, which gets me 23,040 cubic inches for the volume of the sandbox. Now I can get the volume of the soil. Now when we calculate the volume of the soil, let's assume that's a square prism, right, with a base that's 10 by 18 and a height of 5. So we're going to calculate that. 10 times 18, that's the area of the base of the soil, times 5. And I get 900 cubic inches. Okay, now we want to figure out how many bags of soil she needs. So I'm going to divide the total volume by the soil, right? If I divide those, I get 25.6. Well, you can't buy part of a bag of soil. We have to get 26 bags, right? All right, last one. Benito has 15 neon tetras in his aquarium. Each neon tetra requires at least 2 gallons of water. What is the maximum number of neon tetras that Benito should have in his aquarium? Okay, so let's calculate the volume of this aquarium and then see how many he should have. So we're going to calculate the volume of this cylinder. So we would do area of base, so radius squared. If the diameter is 16, the radius would be 8 inches. So 8 squared pi times 32, right? And I'm just going to plug that on my calculator, I'm not going to worry about leaving it in terms of pi. I get 6,433.982 inches cubed. Okay. Now, it talks about how many tetras per gallon. So we want to change this to gallons. So to do that, I would take this 6,433.982 cubic inches, and I'm going to multiply that by 1 gallon over 231 cubic inches to cancel out the inches, right? Which is the same as dividing by 231, which gets me 27.85 gallons. So the aquarium holds 27.85 gallons. Now each neon tetra needs at least 2 gallons of water. So we're going to divide this in half to figure out how many neon tetras he should have. And we get 13.926. Now, we don't want, even though it's really close to 14, we don't want to kind of skimp out on how much water we're giving each neon tetra. So really, he should only have 13 neon tetras. So he has 2 more than he should, right? So he should have 13 neon tetras. All right. Hope you guys are well. Again, email me with questions, and I'll talk to you soon.